Okay. So we were talking about machine learning, and we stopped here. We talked about two different machine learning techniques: the support vector machine and knowledge-based classifier. So now there are many different kinds of machine learning techniques, but we need to know which one is best. So we need to know which one is best, which one works best for our data, and basically what does it mean by best? Which machine will we call best? Now, how do we know that this machine is best? So now all these questions we will answer. So what a machine basically does, a machine learning system, what it does basically is that given a set of training examples, so you have some inputs and some true outputs. So this pair, so labeled training set. So given this labeled training set, the machine tries to generalize, which means that if the machine sees an input that is similar to, not exactly same, but similar to some input that it has seen in the training set, then it makes a theory that this input might have this new input which I have never seen might have the same level as that training input to which this is closest. So it makes a generalization, which means a generalization would be based on race. Right? For example, a person of like if you see a person to be similar looking to a person from a particular place, then you might say that this new person is from that particular place. That is kind of a generalization that we do. Right? For example, I look typically like in India, so I might be from India, even if I'm not. I might be from other countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, but still people might think that I am from India. So that is kind of a generalization. So machines do generalization. Right? So you can call machines as racist. So machines do generalization. So when someone or some systems do generalization, they are bound to be wrong. For some examples, they will be wrong. But for many examples, they might be right. But there might be some examples on which they are wrong. So machines can never achieve 100% accuracy. So what is that error? How do we characterize the error of a machine? That error is called a generalization error. And this is the first step towards analyzing which machine is best for our data, which will give the best accuracy. So best accuracy means which one will have the least generalization error. That is what we're looking for. That is what it means by having a good accuracy. The best machine. The best machine is the one which has the least generalization error. So what is the generalization error? So it means that how well does a learned model generalize from the data it was trained on to a new test set. So you have a training set. Now the machine does something and learns some parameters. And now suddenly you give a new test set which the machine has not seen before. So the machine has to still give correct levels to that test set. So one of the measure of generalization error is how wrong was the machine. So there can be many different types of wrongs. Right? First type of wrong can be you give machine an image of a cow Instead of classifying it as a cow, it classified it as a. So that is accuracy. The machine is inaccurate. Then it can so happen that you gave the machine or you made a machine so that it only identifies cow and anything else it identifies as not cow. A cow or not cow. Two cows. So you give the machine an image of cow, the machine says cow. And so you give 100 cow images, the machine says cow for 100 images. So that is 100% accurate machine. Now you give another image which is a cow, but maybe the head is angled in a different way. The machine got confused and said it's not cow. So out of 101 cow images, the machine was right on 100 cow images and one it couldn't identify as cow. So that one which it couldn't identify as cow is called false negatives. That is one type of error, false negatives. Which means the image was actually a cow's image, but the machine said no, it's not a cow. So it is a false negative. So the machine gave the answer negative, but the answer itself is false. It's not correct. Then another case might happen that you gave the machine an image of an apple, it said that this is a cow. Right? So that case is a false positive, which means that the machine returned a positive result, which is a cow, but the answer that the machine gave was wrong. The false positive. These are the errors of the machine. Now, on the other hand, there can be other metrics that characterize the performance of the machine. The true positive and true negative. Those are the performance measures of the machine. So, true positive means the machine's answer was positive and the image was actually the image of the cow. And true negative means the machine's answer was negative and the image was not the image of the cow. Right? So these are different error metrics. In addition to that, there are other errors also. So we'll see what are the components of generalization. The components of generalization error are the following: bias and variance. So these are these the bias and variance have some relation to true positive, true negative, false positive, false negatives. But true positive, true negative, and false positive, false negative, those are much lower level metrics. Bias and variance is a higher level error. So which means that bias and variance causes false positive, false negative. So bias and variance are the mechanisms, are the true errors of a machine, which causes the false positives and false negatives. Right? So false positives, false negatives are an effect that you observe, and the cause of that effect is bias and variance. So what are these? So bias means how much the average model over all training sets differ from the true model. So we have to clearly understand this. So when a machine tries to generalize, tries to understand an underlying model, now from the data, there must be a true model. True model means you give any test data to that true model, and it will give the correct answer. Now that true model might or might not exist. It might be just by human identification. That a human can be a true model. Just sees an image and sees that this is a cow. Right? So that true model may not be ever reached by this machine. So bias says that now training sets you can have multiple training sets. Right? You can have 10 different training sets. So bias says how much the average model of all training sets differs from a true model. So from this all training sets that you can provide to the machine, this machine learns some models, right, for each training set. Now, average model over all training sets. Now, how different is that average model from the true model? Now, how do you get that difference? You supply test data and you compare the answers between the true model and the average. Right? So, a measure of the difference is false positives or false negatives. That's the measure. So, using false positives and false negatives, you can quantify that. Okay, this machine was had 90% false, 10% false negatives. Right? So that is the difference between that machine and the true model. So, bias is how much the average model over all training sets differ from the true model. So this occurs, why this occurs due to inaccurate assumptions or simplifications made by the model. So let's say you assume that all cows have a nose, right? The machine assumes that all cows have a nose. Then you give the machine an image of a dog. The dog also has a nose, so you say that this dog is a dog. Right? So these kind of errors, oversimplification, very simple model is bound to have higher bias. Now this kind of bias we are seeing in recent politics also, in the travel ban. Right? Anybody coming from a particular country is banned. So that is bias. Machines also have bias. Then we have the parameter called variance, the error of the component of generalization error called variance. So this variance means how much models estimated from different training sets differ from each other. It's a slightly different concept. So you have many different training sets. Bias work with an average model, right? But variance says, okay, you derive one model for this training set, another model for training set 2, another model for training set 3. So you have 3 models. Now, how much do these models differ? Now, out of these models, all these models might be very close to the true model. They might have just 99% true positives. They might have very good results. But they themselves might fail. So what will be the problem in that case? The problem will be if a model, let's say a particular model is very accurately represents the training that particular training set given to that model. A model 2 accurately identifies everything in the training set 2. A model 3 accurately identifies everything in training set 3. Right? Now, if you give a test input, let's say choose the test input from training set 2 and then gave it as input to the model 3, you will see that the model 3 is negative. Or if you take a test input from training set 1 and give it to model 3, you will see that the model 3 failed. Right? So that kind of error is called variance. So very subtle difference. Let's rewrite this difference here and see if it makes it more clear. Okay, so bias and variance. So let's say this is my training set T1, this is training set T2. Oh. Let's say this is training set Tn. So I learned a model which is M1 from training set T2, the machine M2, and this is the machine Mn. Right, and let's say the true model is this. True model means if you give any input from any of these training set, the model will say give you the correct answer. This might or might not exist, right? So now what they are saying is bias means this. If you have a bias and you take, so for bias, this model N1 might be even inaccurate with the training. So which means that the model could not even accurately identify everything in the training set because the model did very a lot of oversimplification. So the training set can be a mixture of cows and dogs. The machine assumes that every picture which has a nose is a cow. So the machine classified all the training sets as cows. So if there are 50 dogs and 50 cow images, then the true positive rate for that machine will be 50%. So that machine has a high bias. Now it is not accurate with the training set itself. The T1 training set with which it was trained, it's not accurate. So it was very simple. The machine had an oversimplification, had wrong assumption. That is bias. Now what is variance? Variance means that machine M1 is very accurate on T1. Machine M2 is very accurate on T2. And Mn is very accurate on Tn. But M1 is not accurate on N. And so whichever training set this machine was not trained on, this machine was not accurate. That is variance. So these machines are so given the training set, this machine is very accurate to the true one. So it gets it classifies 50 cows, 50 dogs, 100% accuracy. But the moment you give a different cow and dog training set, this machine it has 70% accuracy. So that is variance. So given this bias and variance, we have the concept of underfitting and overfitting. Right? So what is underfitting? Underfitting means model is too simple to represent all the relevant class characteristics. Right? So which means it will have very high bias and it will have low variance. Why will it have low variance? Because it has a very simple assumption. Right? So all the training sets, cows, dogs, T1, T2, T3, in all the training sets, every picture had nodes. Right? So if you take a machine that was learned on T1, it will have the same result on T2. So if there were 50 images of cows in T1 and 50 of dogs, and in T2 there were 50 images of cows, different images, and 50 different images of dogs, right? M1 will give 50% accuracy in T1 as well as 50% accuracy because M1 is just looking for the node. Very simplistic assumption. So variance is low because M1 and M2 are giving the same result. So they are not varying. So the variance is low, but the bias is very high because it is varying from the true model. Right? So underfitting means the model is too simple. So you have high bias and very low variance. Right? So this means what you have is that you have high training error as well as high test error. So both training and test error will be high. That's what we were discussing, right? 50% error in training as well as 50% of error in test when you use other training sets as test. So high training as well as high test. Then the other concern is overfitting. The model is too complex and fits irrelevant characteristics in the data. It even learns the noise. Right? If you have measurement noise, it learns the noise. Now, what will you see here? You'll see that the bias is low because for a given training set, it is extremely accurate, but the variance is high. If you give a separate training set, it won't, the accuracy will go down. So it's a low bias but high variance. So what you'll have is you'll have low training error, but the moment you do test, your test error will be high. This is a significant problem in deep learning. When you have deep learning networks and you give not a lot of data, but a relatively small amount of data, then deep learning network tends to fit very well to that particular training set. So overfitting is a very problematic factor in deep learning. Another very important characteristic, which is not in the slide, and which we just recently came across in one of our projects, but this has been reported in other research studies as well, is this. So imbalance between data, right? So data imbalance. So what is this data imbalance? Let's say you have a huge training set, right? And you want to distinguish between cow and non-cow. So let's say you want to distinguish between cow and non-cow. Now, in the training set, let's say the training set has 1,000 data points. Right, 1,000 data points. Out of which only 5 data points are cow, and 995 are other features. So there might be cars, there might be boats, there might be apples, right? Now, one of the overfitting problems is that when you supply this training set to deep learning network, since the data is imbalance means the true class, the cow which we want to identify, the cow class, is so small, with only 5 data points. And our other classes are 995 data points. So if you focus on accuracy, what the deep learning network will do is it will classify all cows as non-cows, majority class. Okay. So it overfits the other pictures class. It overfits the 995 other picture class because it has more training points and it even fits and considers the cow pictures as noise. Okay. So this is a real problem. In practice, you see this problem, the data imbalance problem. And in this kind of data imbalance problem occurs in rare class phenomena, when you are detecting rare classes. Rare classes means, let's say, eating action. And there is a project, eating action detection. Right? So when you are eating, you are not only eating, but you are also talking, you are making hand gestures. Right? Chewing, you are spending a lot of time chewing, talking, making hand gestures, but the eating action itself is just 3 seconds, or maybe less than 3 seconds, 1 second. So only for 1 second you have eating action data. And let's say using wristband accelerometer data, you want to detect eating action, and you are using machine learning algorithm. So this eating action is just 1 second. So you have just 1 second of accelerometer data that is eating, and you have 10 20, 30 seconds of other data, right? Which is either chewing or talking or making hand gestures. That so what can happen is that if you simply use this raw data and put it into a deep learning network, it will not be everything it will classify as smart. It will never detect. So that is because the deep learning network is overfitting the other data. Because the portion of other data is training sample is much more. So that is a very recent phenomenon. People are looking into this in the domain of gesture. Whenever they are doing gesture recognition in deep learning, yes, we have.
So that would mean that it will always do a required now SNR the perfect point.
No, not always be a good choice. If you are using deep learning network, then this is a requirement to have a balanced data.
So what that means perfect 50.
Don't need 50-50. And exactly how much you need, nobody knows. But if there is a huge imbalance, like 95-5, then
What for the first from the order so you said that the content for the law does that mean that that content model not actually work on all of them? So that's
no. If you have a big training set, if you combine all the 5, then it will fit the training set very well. Because it's a very complex model, it overfits the training set. But now again, if you have a uh, test input which is not in the training set, then the machine is likely to have a large error. Because it only has seen those training examples, and if those training examples are not comprehensive, right? It is not large enough, or it is not varying that much. Right? It does not encompass everything, every characteristics of your problem.
But for it has a relatively big size.
It may be small. It is smaller than bias. Overfitting might have a yeah. If you consider that an underfitted versus an overfitted, yes, overfitting might have a lesser error than underfitting. Yes, that's. So that is another aspect. That if you have data imbalance, that's why what a lot of people do is they use fake data. So you create fake pictures somehow. How can you create fake pictures? Maybe repeat those cow pictures. Take one picture, repeat it 25 times, or maybe have some random noise in the cow pictures and repeat them. So those kind of techniques. So there are many techniques of smooth, SNOT, ADASIN. Those kind of algorithms are used to create fake data, so that the data ignorance problem can be solved. But that is new research that is beyond the point. So, turns out that there is a trade-off between bias and variance. So, if you want to increase or decrease bias, you might end up increasing variance, and if you want to decrease variance, you might end up increasing bias. So, models with too few parameters are inaccurate because of large bias. So, too few parameters means simple model. And models with too many parameters are inaccurate because of large variance. They have to strike a balance. They have to strike a balance of complexity of models. You cannot have too complex of a model, you cannot have too simple of a model. So how much complexity can you go? This is very, this kind of trade-off can be observed very well with deep learning networks. So you keep on adding layers. And you will see that after a certain point, if you add more layers, your test error increases. You would expect that adding more layers is better, but no. Adding more layers, your test error increases. If you delete layers, you will see that at some point test error becomes minimum, and then again it starts increasing. And so there is a sweet saddle point, that optimal number of neurons that you need in a neural network. So that is very well observed in deep learning networks. So now the deep learning network is a term that is being used quite frequently, but then there are concepts like wide networks. Wide networks means in each layer you have large number of neurons. Deep means you have more layers, but wide means in each layer you have large number of neurons. Right? So you can go like that also. You can have large number of neurons in each layer, and that will also have the same trade-off, bias and variance. So, given this, the generalization error, the total generalization error can be summed up like this. So, expected value of generalization error is some noise in the data. That noise we cannot avoid. So, it's not a problem of the machine, but it's just resulting noise. So, you cannot avoid that noise. So, that noise is there. But then you have to have bias, error due to incorrect assumptions, bias square plus variance, error due to variance of training samples. So that is the total generalization error. Now this generalization error is manifested or can be measured using the matrix true positive, true negative, false positive, false negative. So now if you look into bias variance trade-offs to better understand, so here we have complexity of the machine versus error, right? The generalization error. So as the complexity increases, it means it becomes low bias and high variance, right? And as the complexity decreases, it becomes high bias and low variance. So if you consider training error, if you consider training generalization error, then training error actually decreases. Right? If you have more and more complex machines, you can get more and more accurate with training data. But what happens to a test error? Turns out that test error, after a certain point, test error starts increasing. Right? So the best test error is not the most complex machine. So here we have underfitting and here we have overfitting. Right? Now what happens to the test error? So we saw the test. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll consider what happens to the test error when we increase the training set. When we have a smaller training set versus a bigger training set. Right? So if we have many training examples, the test error becomes like this. Right? If we just saw it. We just saw it. If we have a lot of training examples, then as the model complexity increases, there is a sweet training error spot, and then after that it increases. But what if we have fewer number of training examples? If we have fewer number of training examples, then what happens is that this sweet spot, first of all, increases. That means that the minimum possible training error increases, and you need simpler machines to learn. You don't need more complex machines if you have lesser number of training examples. So the point that he was mentioning, that what if you have all possible training examples? This will be the case when you have all possible training examples. Yes, your test error will significantly reduce from having fewer examples. But still, this trade-off will, this sweet spot will be there. They are more complex, you don't need more complex machines. There will be a sweet spot after which the test error will increase. But what happens when you reduce training examples, when you have smaller training sets? When you have smaller training sets, then the whole test error increases. Right? But also you need simpler machines. You don't need to have some more complex. So if we now fix the prediction model, let's say we fix a complexity. Let's say here the best possible complexity for many training examples. If we fix the complexity, then we change the number of training examples. What happens? So for a fixed machine, here we are changing the machine, but for a fixed machine, if we change the number of training examples, what is the effect on here? So if we change the number, so let's say we have a fixed machine and we are increasing the number of training examples. What happens to the training error? The training error increases. That is increasing. Right? If you have two training sets, then the machine might be correct on those two. But if as and when you increase the training set, it means there is more variance in the training input. Right? So the error will increase as you increase the training set. For the same complex machine. What happens to the test error? The test error actually decreases. Because if you have more and more training set, then this machine generalizes better. Let's start generalizing better. So that's why the test error decreases. So for a fixed machine, if you increase the number of training examples, the testing error decreases, the training error increases. And there will be some point where you will reach an optimal level. They might not meet, they might not cross, but they might reach an optimal level, after which they don't change. Okay. So this difference between testing and training error, you can term this as generalization. The difference between testing error and training error. This is due to generalization via. So these are the basic concepts that we need to understand a machine, understand a machine learning system. And what are the errors? What is causing the machine learning system to give good accuracy in training set but poor accuracy in testing set? So when you are developing your application or using the machine learning system for some kind of applications, you will have a better idea about why is the machine responding to the way it is. Okay? So these are the tools that you use. Now what we will do is when we talk about security later in the course, when we talk about security, we will come back to this question again. We will talk about machines again. Different kinds of machines, why do they accept, why do they reject, right? What is the mathematics behind it, all those things we will understand. And that will help us in understanding how to break security systems. Right? How to break security systems or how do security systems work. So not any type of security system, but security systems that use some kind of machine learning systems. So what are examples? For example, fingerprints. If you use fingerprints, you might want to use machine learning systems to detect authenticity. Right? Fingerprints or iris scans or biometrics. If you use any form of biometrics you use, most probably you are using a machine learning system to identify a person. So there in that kind of security systems, you have machines. So then you need to know that how to break those machines. And once you know how to break those machines, you can develop your machine so that it's not breakable. So those kind of things we will talk about when we come there. Now let's look at some examples of cognitive computing applications. So there are many applications where this kind of cognitive computing can be used. So one such application is driving semi-autonomous cars. Semi-autonomous car means there is a car which can be controlled automatically, but then most of the time it is controlled by the human person. So most of the time the person is driving, but in cases certain functionalities of this car can be autonomous also. So we are moving towards autonomous cars. On the streets we see autonomous cars, but still we won't be there in the future where every car is autonomous. We won't be there until maybe 20 to 30 years later. So what will happen, like many researchers are predicting what will happen, is that in the next 10 years, you will have all cars which are semi-autonomous. So which means you have to drive. But certain functionalities of the car might be automatically controlled. For example, braking, automatic braking. Nowadays, cars are emerging which have automatic braking. I saw some advertisements of which car I forgot. I think Chevy or Chrysler or some of those cars, which show that they are doing automated braking. They detect some objects in hitting distance. So if you don't stop, you hit them, and so they automatically brake without the person reacting. And so that is an example of semi-autonomous car. So in case of semi-autonomous cars, what you can have is you can have wearable sensors. And the driver at this point might not want to wear anything. But we are assuming, we are futuristic, and we are assuming that, let's say the driver wears a beam sensor, let's say he wears a accelerometer sensor, instead of clothes he just wears sensor. Right? We can assume that for now. So if that is the case, then we have a lot of data. So one example application with cognitive mobile computing can be that whenever let's say a driver is driving a car, you collect the brain data of that person. Whenever you collect the brain data, you do some computation and try to figure out when the person is getting drowsy. If the person is getting drowsy, then you in parallel you are running a collision detection algorithm. What does that collision detection algorithm take? It takes the current driver speed, the fuel, the tire rotational speed, right? Speed limits, cars in the proximity, using the proximity sensors, right? Or it can also use the video cameras in the car to detect what kind of surroundings this environment of this particular car. All this information can take to detect collision, impending collisions. So impending collisions means within 2 to 3 seconds or within 5 seconds it is predicting that this car might collide somewhere. Now if the system detects that this car might collide somewhere and the person is getting drowsy, and the possibility of a collision is very high. Right? So what it can do is that it can engage autopilot. So which means that it automatically brakes or automatically navigates to the roadside. Those kind of operations we can do. So that is one application of cognitive mobile computing. That you use the brain data to figure out whether the person is getting drowsy or not. That is one example. Then the other example is the Neuro movie. Now this one is a application that we build. So what this does is that let's say you're watching a movie, right? And you want the movie to end in a certain way. That you are a very emotional person and you don't want some bloody endings. Right? You don't want that. You want happy endings. Movies which have happy endings. So now so that is you, but your partner. Let's say you are watching the movie together in a cinema hall or in a movie theater. So your partner is very different from you, and he or she says that no, I want to do some endings. I want bloody endings, right? So what you can do is you can have alternative endings to movies. And based on your current emotional states, you can show different versions of the movie to two different people who are watching the same movie in the same movie theater. Then what you can do is after watching the movie, you can share your experience with the movie. So this is a personalized movie experience application, which takes your cognitive states and changes the sequence of movie based on your choice. And not only your conscious choice, but your subconscious choice. So let's say you want to see a very bloody scene, but the brain's signal detects that you are very nervous, your heart rate is very high. If I show you this scene, then you might die immediately. So I will not show you. Even if you do, you want to see it. Right? This happens all the time. For example, a lot of you might know about cricket. It's a game played in, introduced by the British, and India plays a lot of cricket games, right? And when there is a cricket match going on, the tension in India is such that if something bad happens to the team, people might die of heart attack, right? So there has been cases that many people die watching cricket matches. So those cases, such kind of applications might be used. When you predict that you're getting nervous and you turn off the TV. So this can be done. Another example is security, brain-driven security. So you are you went into a bank and you want to withdraw money from the bank. What the bank asks you to do is currently what it does is that it says, okay, enter your password, username, enter your password. Right? Instead, you can imagine a future where the bank will give you a New Sky sensor. It will say, okay, you wear the sensor, close your eyes for 5 minutes and relax. Right? So you do that and you get into your account. You don't have to type username, you don't have to type password. What is the problem with username password? You might forget. Passwords are very easy these days because we don't want to remember tough passwords. And if somebody comes and puts a gun on your head, we can easily get the password from you. Right? Now, with the breath sensor and the relaxation requirement, nobody can put a gun to your head and say, relax. We need to get into your account. Nobody can do that, right? So this kind of applications can be helpful in that security sensitive. It's extremely sensitive data, so nobody can get it by force. Right? Now, a problem with this is that what if you fought with your wife just 1 hour back, and you are now trying to get into your banking system and find your money back with your phone? But that can be a problem with this kind of system. But that is the trade-off. Another example is in an educational setting where you can deploy brain sensors. Let's say I'm a English student and I'm monitoring the drowsiness level of every student. I have seen that 40% of the class is sleeping, so I need to change my teaching style. And those kind of feedbacks can also be obtained. So many different applications of cognitive mobile computing. So with that, we will end here this part of the lecture on cognitive mobile computing. Do you have any questions? Or will we go to some other topic? While I switch topics, you can ask me questions. No questions? Okay, so let's go to the theoretical topic again. This is one of the core topics of mobile computing. If you are taking mobile computing course, you have to know about this location management. This is a very old topic, so there's nothing new in location management, but I have to cover this because that is one of the basic core topics of mobile computing. So what is location management? So location management deals with the fact that you want to make a call using your mobile phone. Now, previously, how did you make a call? When you didn't have a mobile phone, you used landline, like landline phone. So, what did the landline phone do? The landline phone had a Ethernet connection. Not Ethernet, it had like a small Ethernet type of connection, right? Wired connection. And where did it connect to? It connected to the nearest tower. And there was a big tower, and you will see wires all around going towards that tower. Now in that tower, once you go to that tower, reach that tower, like your voice signal, then what happens is that there are huge transmission lines which send the data to other towers, and that's how you. And those other towers might be connected to the mobile phone of your destination, right? And the signal goes there. So everything was stationary. Your landline phone never moves, and you can move. You can buy those kind of wireless landlines, which you can move in and around your house. But the moment you go a certain distance, the connection is lost. Right? So using a landline, you cannot really move. So location management deals with the fact that now you want to make calls while using your phone, you want to make calls, but you want to move. You want to be away from your home. So how to do that? How do we establish calls between two mobile phones, both of which are moving? And that is what location management deals. So location management is managing the mobile phone connectivity to a cell tower during mobility. So you know about cell towers. You have seen huge towers, and at the top of those towers there are circular things, right? In Arizona, they use camouflage. They have long towers, and at the top it looks like a palm tree. But actually, those leaves are fake. Those leaves are hiding big, round, or rectangular antennas. So what do those antennas do? Those antennas send out electromagnetic signals, and your phone receives it. If the signal strength between the received by the phone is pretty high, then the phone communicates with the tower and tells that whatever call I want to make, I want to make it. Right? So that is the purpose of the cell tower. It keeps the mobile phone connected to the network. And how does it connect? It connects through a wireless mechanism by sending powerful electromagnetic waves, very high power electromagnetic waves. That's why you don't see it that many birds these days in cities. Right? See the birds. But that's the price you pay for it. So powerful electromagnetic waves are insane. So before we go into the details of location management, we need to understand certain basic concepts, or we need to at least define certain parameters. So let's define those parameters. By the way, this is chapter 2 of the book. I am not sure whether your TA has uploaded the book or not. If not, then I will tell them to upload. Oh yeah, yes, he has uploaded. He has chapter 1, 2, 4. These are the three chapters. If you go to Blackboard, you'll see it. Here, chapter 1, 2, 4. The chapter. So we will talk about chapter 2, location management. So these are some parameters or fundamental assumptions that we make. So mobile hosts, we'll call mobile hosts, and we'll mean the smartphones. And mobile hosts are smartphones. Any mobile host that wants to make a call or receives a call is a smartphone, or any smartphone that wants to make a call or receives a call is a mobile host. Right? So mobile hosts are served by base stations, also called access points. So the cell towers that we are talking about, it has three names. First of all, cell tower, then base station, and then the third is access point. All these three terms are same. Base station is same as access point, is same as cell tower. So mobile hosts are served by base stations. Mobile hosts can roam about the network. Roam about means you can move wherever you want. Right? Mobile hosts must locate mobile hosts to communicate with it. So when one mobile host A wants to call a mobile host B, there has to be a localization mechanism, a location management mechanism. They have to locate that where is that other phone. Then you can make a call. So this location or localization involves finding the base station currently serving the mobile host. Which base station is serving the mobile host? And we'll assume here that a mobile host can be served by only one base station. That's an assumption that we can make. If you have multiple SIMs, you can be served by multiple base stations. But for the purpose of this slide or of this discussion, we are going to have, let's assume that one mobile host and one base station. They are always served by one. So this operation that involves finding the base station currently serving the mobile host, that operation is called a search operation. So whenever you want to call somebody, you have to do a search operation. Now when a mobile host moves, it must let the system know where it is. Right? It must let the system know under which cell tower you are currently existing. You can connect to multiple different cell towers as and when you move. So why do you need to connect to a different cell tower? This is because we know that whenever we have an electromagnetic source, the power of that electromagnetic wave that it generates, the power falls to follow the inverse square law. And as the distance from that source increases, the power content in the electromagnetic wave reduces, following an inverse square law because of atmospheric scaling and all those things. If it was not atmosphere, if it was a free space, then the issue would have been different. It would have to create a black noise. But in our case, that's what happens inside the atmosphere. So what will happen is that after a certain point, the power won't be zero. The power won't ever be zero. Even if you go to an infinite distance, the power there is still some amount of power. But the power will be so low that it is not detectable by your mobile phone after a certain distance. So which means that you will never be able to connect to that cell tower again if you keep on moving further away. So you will need to connect to a different cell tower. Right? So whenever you move, whenever the mobile phone moves, it gets out of range of for one cell tower, but goes in range of another cell tower. Right? So whenever you move out of range and of a particular cell tower or go into the range of another cell tower, you need to do an update operation. The update operation means you have to let the system know that I have changed cell tower. That is the update operation. Now there is a special case of update operation called registration. Registration means the first time a mobile phone wakes up, it has to connect to a cell tower. Right? So if the information of the mobile phone is not there in any of the cell towers, the mobile phone chooses one cell tower and puts that information there. That first operation is called registration. Any subsequent operations are called updates. So registration is like a special case of update. Then you must allow mobile hosts to switch between base stations to support roaming. So switch between base station means you were already connected to cell tower and you are updating that cell tower periodically. So updates can be periodic or based on motion, whatever. So you are updating periodically. Typically the requirement is every 30 seconds or every 1 minute you need to send an update operation. You need to say that okay, I'm still there, right? You need to send that to the cell tower. So that is called an update operation. But if you are moving and you are transferring from one cell tower to the other, that operation is called handoff. So there is a subtle difference between update and handoff. Update can occur even if you are not moving. Even if you are not moving, you can let the system know that I'm still here, I'm still here. But if you are moving and you change from one cell tower to the other, then you have to do a handoff operation. What does that mean? That means that you need to let the previous cell tower know that I'm no longer in your area. I am going to the cell tower B. Right? So there are other operations that need to be done. You need to let cell tower A know that what happens if calls arrive. Right? What happens if calls get redirected to you? You have to redirect to cell tower B because I am not in cell tower A. I am in cell tower B. So all those things we'll talk about later. But for now, let's understand this difference: update and handoff. So there might not be a one-to-one correspondence between update and handoff. You cannot say that okay, for every update there is a handoff. No. Or for every handoff there is an update. No. There can be updates regardless of handoffs. Right? You can periodically update the cell tower saying that I'm still here. But handoff only occurs when you move from one cell tower to another. Then mobile host will be served by one BS at a time. Always. Base station coverage is called one cell. We will call it a cell. Coverage of the base station. Now location information can be maintained at various granularities. You can maintain, given this structure, what is the location of the mobile phone? You can have various representations of the location of the mobile phone. One way representation is which cell is it under. A mobile phone, you can give a cell to it as a location information. So location of the mobile phone is cell A. Now typically what happens is that the coverage of cell A is maybe 1 or 2 kilometers or maybe 500 meters and so on. So the accuracy of that location information is pretty low, like maybe 1-2 kilometers. But that is one way. There is one way of keeping a location information of the mobile host. Another way of keeping a location information of mobile host is that instead of saying that which cell you are in, you tell it which cell group you are in. So what you can do is you can have cell groups. You can say that cell A and B are a group, right? And you say that the location of mobile phone, mobile host N is this cell group A and B. So you don't know which cell it is in actually, but you know which cell group it is there. Right? So that granularity is further inaccurate. So it must, the error might be 4 or 5 kilometers. So now there are different advantages of having these two types of location granularity. What can be the advantages? So for example, if you have one cell location granularity, right? If you move, you are more likely to cross cells. Right? So the moment you cross one cell and go to another cell, then you have to do a handoff operation. So every time you cross a cell, you have to do a handoff operation. But if you have a cell group location, what you need to do is, if you cross a cell group, then only you do handoff. You don't need to do handoff if you roam between two cells that are in the same group. So what you are doing is you are reducing the cost of handoff. So now what we haven't discussed is that the search operation, update operation, handoff operation has cost associated with it. There are many different types of costs. Right? So that is not on the slide. Let's discuss the cost. So there are two different types of cost: fixed cost and recurrent cost. So if you think about it, when you first bought mobile phones, maybe 10 years back, they used cost a lot more than these days. The mobile phone plans. Mobile phone plans used to cost much more than what they cost now. So why is that? The reason behind that is there is some fixed cost which was already overcome. Okay? So what is that fixed cost? The fixed cost is you have to install cell towers. You have to update software or update the call management software. Update location management software and all these things. And I will update the technology like 4G, 3G, and so on. Voice over IP, those kind of technology I have to update. So that is fixed cost. It means that once you do that update, you don't need to spend any more money for a while. Right? For 2-3 years or even 5-6 years, you don't need to spend any more money. Once you have all these installations. So when you do these installations, initially it costs a lot of money. Whichever the company is doing this installation, they have to spend a lot of money for the infrastructure. So that cost is on you. Right? The manufacturers of the communication companies such as T-Mobile, AT&T, they will charge you to cover up for this cost. But this is fixed cost. So after a while, this cost gets balanced. So then what they can do is they can give you free stuff. And they give you free texting. Previously texting you had strict plans that you can only send 20 texts in a month. Otherwise you will charge you a lot. But now you have free texting. Previously you could you were charged for every call. Now T-Mobile is free. After 9 p.m. every call is free. Right? So those kind of things you can do because you have already offset the fixed costs. Before you couldn't do because you didn't have, did not offset the fixed cost. Now the other costs are the recurrent costs. This recurrent cost involve the search and update and handoff costs. What are these costs? So what does a search operation involve? A search operation involves that you need to keep, you need how big of a memory do you keep? How many phones can you manage? The number of mobile phones are increasing, still increasing day by day. Soon there will be more than 3 trillion mobile phones. Everybody has a mobile phone, right? So not only one, but two, three mobile phones. So it's double the population size. Right? So the number of mobile phones double the population size. So each cell tower, so the entire network, however many cell towers you have, should have the capacity to store a large amount of location information of this mobile phone. Right? It is not simply total number of mobile phones divided by total number of cell towers. It is much more than that, because in a certain place there might be more mobile phones than in some other places. Right? You cannot assume an uniform distribution of mobile phones. So you have to have memory. You have to have computation power, because whenever I am trying to call somebody, I cannot wait for 10 minutes on the phone. I will only wait for maybe 10 seconds. If it takes 10 minutes, I will switch from T-Mobile to AT&T. Right? So your computational power should be such that despite the calling load, right, a particular cell tower might be serving tens of thousands of mobile phones. So despite the load, you have to guarantee that if I start making a call, you will establish a connection within 10 seconds. Right? You have to maintain that agreement. If you fail in that agreement, then I will not use your you won't use your plans. So that is the cost. So you have to have fast computational algorithms, fast infrastructure, very high performance memory. So that has to be updated time and again. You cannot use old technology for this kind of operation, because the number of mobile phones are equally increasing. Right? So that is the recurrent cost. So that's where search cost, update cost comes into play. So not only that, not only amount of memory, time, the moment you have more and more mobile phones you serve, more and more computational power is needed. So you need to plug it to the grid and take power. Right? The computer has to run the computer system from power. So you take power from the grid. Power from the grid costs money. Costs money to the service providers. So who will give that money? The service providers are not giving it for free. So you are giving that money by paying for the search and update operations. So that is where the cost comes from. So search costs, update costs, handoff costs are more. Now the customers want to pay as little as possible. We want to pay as little as possible for our mobile phone plans. So if there is a company which gives us unlimited talking, unlimited testing, texting, $10 a month, we'll go there. So there is a continuous struggle to reduce search costs, to reduce update costs, to reduce handoff costs, so that the companies can give you phone plans at much lesser value, lesser cost. Right? So that's why you need to find out algorithms or location storage mechanisms or handoff decisions, cell tower configurations. All these are parameters. You need to find out how to tune these parameters so that your search cost, update cost, and handoff cost are minimized. That is the main goal of location management research, and that's why we need to study it even today, because this is an ongoing research. All the communication companies are doing research on this, because they want to give you lower and lower costs, and still they want to make money. They will make money if they give you lower cost and a large number of customers subscribe. Right? So that's why this is a hot topic. Location management will be a hot topic for years to come because it's a struggle. Why is it a struggle? Turns out that there is a trade-off between search, update, and handoff cost. Let's forget about update. Search and handoff cost. There is a trade-off, which means if you try to reduce search cost, invariably you end up increasing handoff cost. If you try to reduce handoff cost, invariably you will end up increasing search cost. So there is a very big problem, and you have to find out a balance. Now, one of the ways to find out balance is to understand that the search and update cost or search and handoff cost depends upon only one thing: the user movement. Right? Search cost, update cost, or handoff cost, everything depends upon how you move. If you move very frequently, you have more handoff. If you don't move frequently, then search is easy because your location is always the same. Right? So, if I can predict your movement, if I can say that okay, you only move between these two cells, you never go from this cell to that cell, you never go. You only move between these two cells. If I can predict that from your history, then I can maintain your location as this cell group. I say that you only move from A to B and B to A. You never go from cell A to cell C. So what I will do is I will group cell A and B and say that this mobile phone's location is in this cell group 1, and this cell group 1 has the cells A and B in it. So what will happen is that if 90% of the time you are moving between A and B, you only need to do handoff 10% of the time. So that drastically reduces your handoff cost. But it is increasing your search cost. Why is it increasing your search cost? Because now you don't know exactly which cell you are in. You know exactly which cell group you are in. So you are whoever is trying to call you will give a call to the cell group. So which means it has to call 2 cells in that group. So instead of calling only 1 cell, it is now calling 2 cells. So twice the search cost. So see, you reduce handoff cost by grouping cells, but you increase search cost. So this trade-off always is there. If you want to reduce search cost by only keeping location at the granularity of a single cell, then you increase handoff cost. Why? Because as you move, you go from one cell to the other, and you have to do that. So that is the difference between having 1 cell granularity and 2 cell granularity, or 3 cell granularity, or cell group granularity location. So that is one such problem of which granularity of location. That is one of the out of hundreds of problems. That is one such problem. We will discuss about other problems.